Korea is a Winter Olympics powerhouse, especially in terms of short track speed skating. Even the skates that clip off for speed skating, for speed and extra speed and control, that's created by Korean and a Korean company, and now it's been standardized everywhere in the world uses it. And in terms of the blades, the angle, everything, those little details, Koreans came up with that. So applaud to these innovations, these dedications in a country that's not supposed to be winning medals at Winter Olympics. But here's the unfortunate downsides of Winter Games, Winter Olympic sports being super popular in Korea. Everybody wants in on it. That's how it is in Korea. When you see someone accomplish something, there's always going to be a copycat. There's always going to be a Me Too item, whether it's business or in sports. When you see someone's excelling in one particular field, you will see millions of others trying to raise their kids to be that way, or trying to train and catch up to become the next Kim Yeon-ah, next Son Heung-min, whatnot. So winter sports, it's very competitive. Short track speed skating is very cutthroat. Even the national team qualifiers is considered to be as competitive, if not more competitive, than the actual game where you actually compete in the global stage to win a gold medal. There was a skater that was considered the best in Korea at one point, named Im. He was on course to continue to represent Korea and win gold medal in short track speed skating. There was a slightly younger up-and-comer who could not really exactly get there. But what happened between these two is this younger guy, Hwang, had his parents involved and possibly others who have connections, possibly, to take legal action against this superstar, Im, saying that Im pulled down his pants and made it, and it's sexual harassment. So the case was filed against Im, the superstar, who was given conclusively a ban for a year. So that apparently means he will not be able to compete in global events for that very pivotal time, and that's more than a year ban. That's a death sentence. So what happened is there are many Korean coaches out there around the world. Fiercest Asian competition for Korea is in China. So a Korean coach who's happened to be coaching in China reached out, understanding the irregularities. I'm sure there's some of that everywhere, but he understood some of the unfair favoritism, nepotism, and irregularity within the Korean ice winter sports system. So he called him over. Let's start here. So he got a chance to be a Chinese representative as a Chinese national, got a Chinese name and everything. And to Koreans, he looked like a traitor. Everybody saw him as the villain, and Hwang, the rising star, as the golden boy of Korea. But what happened was Hwang, later on, as time progressed, lost a lot of fans. I guess after time passes, you could really analyze or talk to whoever's involved and decide if it was accident, it was in the heat of the moment, whatnot. But Hwang has displayed many times behaviors and acts that jeopardizes not just competitors but teammates during competition, so he can get ahead. If you look up online, there are so many. I don't think you can even call it a conspiracy theory. The eye test is there. He is clearly not a team first guy. And what was unveiled later on is that before Hwang's pants was pulled down by Yi, this was a response by Yi as a senior to Hwang, who was actually punching a girl's buttocks when she was climbing as part of the training. I don't know if that's jokingly. You probably won't be doing that in public, even if you guys were dating, especially if you guys are dating. So Im said, cut that out, and he kind of pulled his pants down. But of course, it did not expose his genitals and anything like that. It was maybe it was seen as a playful gesture of don't do that, cut it out. But it doesn't matter. Hwang saw an opportunity and went for it. That's the kind of go-getter he is, apparently. However, time has passed. Im, who was forced to represent China, went through a lot of hard times being vilified by Korea. A traitor, that's the national spirit in Korea. When you see someone suddenly changing sides, they sometimes get the finer prints and the details leading up to that and just see the man in red as an enemy, and he probably had a hard time having to fight through that. And China is not his friend either. They expect him to deliver results. If not, they will come down on him harder because he's a Korean who happened to be given a second chance by Team China. But right now, with all the facts out there and more stories, revelations, people are belatedly realizing they vilified him too soon and unfortunately did not see the shady sides of Huang.